Good morning to everybody. So, even in the last class, we discussed about empirical formula to find out the quantity of sewage. Okay. So, after knowing all those things, how to calculate the sewage from the open area. So, after knowing this, directly I will going to take one problem. So, this problem belongs to, this is examination problem. So, this problem will arrived in December 14th, January 15th examination. Okay. Work out the ratio of dry weather flow and wet weather flow of a city having the following particulars. Are you clear or not? Okay. What are all the data is given? Area 1 lakh hectares, water supply 130 LPCD, population 18 into 10 to the power of 5 numbers, intensity of rainfall 1 mm, 1 millimeter per hour, not second, 1 millimeter per hour, and inversion factor 0.55. This is the problem. So, according to the problem, work out the ratio of dry weather flow and as well as wet weather flow. We have to calculate the ratio. So, how to start this? So, even in the previous classes, we already learned what are the equations we have to apply for knowing the dry weather flow and as well as wet weather flow. So, equation is ultimately it depends on the intensity of rainfall. So, already even in the last class I gave 3 equations. It depends on the time duration, intensity of rainfall. So, in this problem is given only 1 millimeter per hour. The intensity of rainfall is 1 millimeter per hour. So, according to that intensity of rainfall, we have to use the equation. That thing already you know what equation we have to use. Okay. How to start this? Based on this, whatever the data is given or mentioned in the problem. Okay. First, I will going to start with dry weather flow. Dry weather flow. Using these data, given data, I am directly going to substitute the values to this equation, dry weather flow. So, what is that 130? That is LPCD. Water supply will be given 130 LPCD. So, I am taking 130. Multiplied by 18 into 10 to the power of 5. What it means? Population. Given population. According to the given data, I am entering the values. And multiplied by 0.8 I am taking. In this problem is not mentioned anything, we have to assume it. So, number of times I repeated, as per the standards, whatever the amount of water the person consumed, out of that 80% is the wastage. We are the person generating 80%. In case, in this problem is mentioned instead of 0.8 or 80%, is sometimes in some problems, so they are mentioned 60%, 70%, 80%, sometimes it may be 90%. In that situation, whatever the data is given, you have to enter the data. But in this problem, it didn't give any data. That's why this is the standard value. According to the standards, we have to assume 80%. That's why directly I am taking 0.8. 80% divided by 100 it gives 0.8. So I am directly entering 0.8. Whole thing divided by 1000 multiplied by 24 multiplied by 60 multiplied by 60. What it means? This is the conversion factor. Clear or not? Conversion factors, because the 130 is mentioned in terms of liters. I wanted to know the values in terms of meter cube. That's why I am taking 1000. Okay. So 24 hours, 60 minutes, 60 seconds. Finally, I can get in terms of seconds. These are all the conversion factors. According to the given data, I am entering all those things and calculated. Finally, I can get the dry weather flow is 2.167 meter cube per second. Yes, one step is over according to the given data. So in this problem, I want to calculate dry weather flow and as well as wet weather flow ratio. After knowing dry weather flow, directly I will going to move on to wet weather flow. How to calculate the wet weather flow? That thing also you know, because even in the last class I mentioned very clearly. And also one more time I mentioned, because it is the equation is fully based on the intensity of rainfall. In this problem is given 1 millimeter per hour. So according to this, I am using this equation. Q is equal, for wet weather flow, Q is equal to K into I into A divided by 360. K, what do you mean by K? That is also is given, inversion factor. So intensity of rainfall I, that is also given in this problem. That is 1 millimeter per hour. And A, area, that is also given. That is 1 lakh hectares. Then directly we can substitute these values to this equation. Are you clear? Okay. Next, K value is inversion factor given in the problem, that is 0.55. I am taking here. I am entering. So the value of I, intensity of rainfall, that is also given in this problem, that is 1 millimeter per hour. I am entering this. Next, A, area is given, area 1 lakh hectares. I am entering 1 lakh multiplied by 10 to the power of 5. That is also conversion factors. Conversion factors divided by 360. So after calculating this, the wet weather flow is 152.77 meter cube per second. So according to the given data, what we have to calculate? Dry weather flow and wet weather flow. The ratio of dry weather flow and wet weather flow. How to calculate the ratio? So already we know the dry weather flow and as well as wet weather flow. So directly dry weather flow divided by wet weather flow. I am entering these data. Finally, I calculated the ratio is 0.0142. Are you clear or not? Same type, almost all whatever the questions came to your previous question papers, almost all same. Sometimes they are not mentioned this water supply. In that situation, you have to assume according to the standards, either it may be 135 liters, either it may be 160, either it may be 220, 240, 280, up to 340. It depends on the city. It depends on the city. In this problem is very clearly mentioned, that is 130 LPCD. But according to the standards, what they say is, for a person compulsorily 135 LPCD is needed according to the standards. But whatever it may be, in this problem is very clearly mentioned, that is 130. Whatever the values is mentioned, based on that values, we have to calculate. That is our duty. We don't want to take any additional requirements for this. In case is not mentioned, I can take, I want to assume the demand. Either it may be 135 LPCD, or it may be 160, or it may be 220. Even though in wastewater also, as per the standard I am assuming, because in this problem is not mentioned anything. Sometimes in some problems is mentioned instead of 80%, 60%, 70%, 90%. So based on that we have to take that. Are you clear? It is very, very, very simple problems. It is very, very easy to analyze. Don't forget to study. So number of problems I gave in notes, you go through my notes. Okay. Next, after this problem, after this, knowing this, how to calculate the dry weather flow and as well as wet weather flow, based on the intensity of rainfall, directly I pass on to sewer appurtenances. Sewer appurtenances. Yes, appurtenances. What do you mean by sewer appurtenances? What do you mean by sewer appurtenances? Sewer appurtenances are those structure which are constructed at a suitable intervals, and hence which are much more helpful to inspection and maintenance of sewage system. That is nothing but sewer appurtenances. Sewer appurtenances. Sewer appurtenances. Under what are all the structures will comes under sewer appurtenances? That is manhole, majorly. Manhole. Second one, drop manhole. Catch basins. Next, oil and grease. Oil and grease trap. Oil and grease trap. Next, flushing tank. Next, gullies. Okay, these are all the gullies are street inlets. These are all the structures we are going to use for under sewer appurtenances. Because it is very, these are all the structures are used to maintain the sewers. Otherwise, it is very difficult to maintain, because while flowing the sewerage, including residential, including publics, including stormwater, everything will be flowing in a system or conduit. Sometimes debris, particles will be struck on the flow. To inspect, to clean, so these are all the things will be much more essential. Is it right? So what do you mean by manhole? First one I will take. What do you mean by manual? This is RCC structure or constructed by bricks or RCC, whatever it may be. So this can be, the manholes are used to construct over the straight sewerage system. Straight sewerage system. So this manhole can be constructed at a suitable intervals, and also where exactly the diversion will comes. And every junction we have to construct this, because it changes the direction. It depends on the size of the sewers used. It should be very useful to operate the system or maintain the system. There will be standards while fixing or providing this manhole through along the sewer lines. It is a branch sewer. The manhole can be, so it may be varying from 0.7 to 0.9 meter depth. This can be provided at a branch sewer. This is shallow depth. Shallow depth manholes. Normal manholes. So, normal, it is up to 1 meter depth, and deep manhole, it is more than 1 to 1.5 meter in depth. The deep manhole, that is, the depth is more when compared to these normal manholes or shallow manholes. The deep manhole will be, the depth will be depend upon the terrain of the area. Otherwise, we have to provide the gradient to flow the wastewater directly to the treatment unit. We are going to provide this much of the depth. So, while constructing these deep manholes, it is a solid form used by brick masonry or RCC. There will be a flat bottom along with the sewer line, and walls will be strong, and inside there will be steps will be provided. Why? Because means the person who are handling or maintaining the system, he should be move up to the bottom. The footrest will be, according to the standards, 30 centimeter horizontal, so vertically 20 centimeter gap. And also the deep manhole, the top layer will be reduced, and over that the CI cover will be provided, because if the heavy vehicles passed on that, it should not be collapsed. Okay, so and also at the cover it's provided gratings, so water can pass through that, and whatever the gases comes out of that, it can be passed out. It is a very easy method. In this case, shallow depth, these are all not more than, either it may be rectangular or square, 1 meter by 1 meter. Even normal also 1.2 meter by 1 meter in size. Either it may be rectangular in shape or square in shape, above 2. But normally deep manhole, normally it was in circular in nature. Is it right? In this shallow depth manholes, not heavy CI cover will be provided because it is constructed only for the branch sewers. There is no heavy vehicles will not be move on this. Where exactly change in direction of branches, there only in that situation only the shallow depth and normal manual will be provided according to the standard. So, equal intervals they are going to provide. And where exactly the junction will be comes out of. Where exactly the junction will comes to change in gradient and change in direction of sewers. And sometimes the size of the conduit can be increased to carry the sewage. In that situation only these are all the, based on the situation, these are all the three types of manuals will be provided. Right. So, what do you mean by drop manual? So, the drop manual is where exactly the change in gradient, change in elevation, where exactly the small dia of the pipe, sewer pipe can be connected to the main sewer pipe. In that situation, the drop manual will be provided. For example, one side, off side I will going to take, so it can be provided like this. So, whatever the wastewater comes from this side, the wastewater will be come and join the main sewer here. The pipe will be provided for inspection purpose. Inspection purpose. Is there any happens with this pipe or conduit? It is used. That's why there will be some gap or depth. Whatever the wastewater coming from this and joined to the main sewer. That's why simply we are calling the drop manhole. Are you clear or not? So, what do you mean by catch basin? What do you mean by catch basin? So, normally this is also constructed with heavy structures while collecting the sewage. This is also normally in rectangular or square form. So, whatever the sewers we are getting, there will be a pipe will be provided like this. The sewage is mixed with some solid particles. Such a type of wastewater will be directly connected to the sewer. It may cause clogging or blocking while moving the wastewater. In that situation, these catch basins will be provided. The intention of providing this catch basin is whatever the waste coming and collected in these catch basins, whatever the particles comes along with this wastewater, the particles will be settled in this catch basin bottom. Rest of the wastewater will be connected to main sewer. What is this pipe? Simply we call it as hood. HOD, hood. What is the necessity of providing this hood? Whatever the gases comes out of this, such a type of gas will be escaped from this pipe. That is simply we call it as hood. There will be one more picture relevant to the what? Catch basin. That is also constructed in same manner. So, whatever the wastewater we are sending outside, so for this, one baffle wall will be provided. What do you mean by baffle? Baffle wall will be collected. Whatever the wastewater we are collected here, the particles will be settled in this bottom, and the rest of the supernatant clear wastewater will be comes out of these baffles and drain out easily. Yes, there is no question of clogging or blocking the pipes or obstruct the sewer lines. This is the main concept of using this catch basin. Are you clear? Next, what do you mean by oil and grease trap? What do you mean by oil and grease trap? So, you take, while taking best example is dairy industry. For smooth working of machines, they are providing a oil and grease. And also the milk consisting of a fatty. While washing the cans, while processing the milk, pasteurization, preparation of butter, preparation of ghee, manufacturing of sweets, after every process will be over, after finally washing the equipments, they are discharging into the treatment unit. Are you clear or not? So, the wastewater consisting of fatty materials. How to collect that fatty materials? Where exactly the wastewater will be comes to the or passed through the gratings. Next, there will be a neutralization tank. Immediately neutralization tank, there will be a oil and grease trap will be provided to collect the fatty materials. The oil and grease trap can be simply, sometimes we can call it as, simply we call it as what? Simply we call it as scum. Scum. The fatty materials will be provided. This is the inlet, this is outlet, this is scum. So, you know, all of you, detention time or period. Detention time or period. That thing you know. Even in last semester already I was studying water supply and treatment engineering. While treating the water, based on the characteristics, whatever the coagulants used to treat the water, so the coagulant should be thorough mixing and gets treated. We have to give some time to coagulate each other. That is nothing but simply we call it as detention time or detention period. Are you clear or not? In this also, oil and grease trap, this tank will be provided and we have to give some time. And whatever the oil and grease or simply we call it as scum. This will be comes at the surface level. When comes this oil and grease or simply we call it as scum, we have to remove separately. Then remaining rest of the wastewater will be passed to or allowed to pass and join to the main sewer. Are you clear? Join to main sewer. Hence, there is no question of clogging on. It is clogging or blocking the sewer. And there is no question of react with some other wastewater. So directly without removing this oil and grease trap, simply we are connected to the main sewers, there will be a reactions will be takes place. Because different types of small scale industries also connected or generate whatever the wastewater they are generating, they are connected simply to the sewer. So automatically they are taking, it depends on the temperature, it depends on the pH variations. There will be a reaction will be takes place. So from that reactions, whatever the, for example, methane gas, whatever the gases comes out of that reaction, it should be easily escaped from the sewer line. If not, there will be a damage, there will be a chances of damage. Once it clogs the sewer line, who are all involved with that operations, using of these manuals and all, it is directly comes and directly it affects all the human being. So I think, I hope all of you knows this fact. Normally in all newspapers, we are knowing it was printed. We know the concept. So even some cities, 2 persons will die because he is working in or he is operating in manhole. Why? Because where exactly it will be clogging, there will be a chances of decaying the waste and there will be a chances of methane gas production. Once he operate the system, it can directly fall on the person. There is no chance to escape from these deep manholes. Immediately the person can breathe the methane gas instead of oxygen. He can't survive within a small duration. There will be incident, such type of incident or accidents will be occurring while repairing these wastewater, especially in what? Manholes, because it was in deeper in section. To avoid all those things, these are all the things will be required. These are all the structures will be provided while constructing a sewer system. These are all very much useful to remove all types of unwanted things. Debris, oil and grease, some particles, because in the rainy season, whatever the flood comes out of that rainy season, in the rainy season, it carries some debris, unwanted things, along with solid particles. In case we are not able to properly remove all those things before entering these stormwater or wastewater through the sewer, there will be chances of accident or incidents may occur. To avoid all those things, these are all the things will be essentially needed. While constructing or while laying a sewer system, we have to provide at every, as per the standards, we have to provide at every intervals, known intervals, and every junctions also, because it diverts the sewer systems. Change in direction, change in gradation. In that situation, we have to provide the manholes. It depends on the depth. Either it may be deep manhole, either it may be normal manhole, either it may be simply manhole or shallow manhole. Clear? So, these are all the major parts in sewer lines to operate in smooth way. Even gully traps, gullies. These are also inspection chambers. Simply we can call it as inspection chambers. For example, you take a very good example in your house. Very small house you are constructed. for your convenient, for your purpose. So, you are generating a wastewater in kitchen, bathrooms, toilets and floor washing. To discharge whatever the wastewater you are discharging from different concept, everything will be collected at single point and directly are connected to the municipal sewer. If you want to collect in a single chamber or conduit, so you have to provide a sub branches. So for collection of kitchen waste, there is a one pipe or conduit you are going to provide according to the whatever the wastewater you are generating. According to that, you are select a dia, and there will be a one inspection chamber. If you are generating the wastewater in bathrooms, there will be one more inspection chamber. You are generating somewhere else in water closets, there will be a inspection chamber. So every pipes will be connected one by one automatically. Finally, are collected in a single chamber. And from that chamber, you are directly connected to the municipal sewer. There will be a chances because you are maintaining your house well in condition, floor washing, whether it may be in rainy season, whether it may be in rainy season. So you are having 2 more kids in your house, there will be a chance of solid particles comes out of that flowing. And knowingly or unknowingly they are doing such a things. Once clog the pipes, it start after 2 o'clock, it creates a nuisance because within 2 hours we are sending such a type of wastewater, that is fresh water, fresh wastewater, or simply we call it as fresh sewage. If not, it creates a nuisance. To remove all those things, it is very difficult. For that purpose only we have to construct each and every junction we are going to provide a inspection chamber. We are not constructing a manhole within residential area. The manholes will be constructed along with the sewer line on roads. It depends on the depth of sewer, where exactly they are going to provide. So every intervals. So as per the standard says, every 30 feet we have to provide one inspection chamber or one manhole. If not, one manhole, one inspection chamber, like that. Alternately we are going to provide if it is in a long stretch. If there is any junction comes over the long stretch, one more time, even for 10 feet or 15 feet depth, 15 feet distance, or very close to either this side or this side of manhole, we have to construct. Because there will be a change in direction of sewer. Are you clear or not? So, as per the standards, these are all the things will be provided while constructing or while laying a main sewer lines or conduit simply. There will be a change in dia according to the whatever the wastewater flowing in a direction, or slope can be changed. It depends on the terrain. So while collection is very easy, but while carrying such type of wastewater to the treatment unit, it is very difficult. More care will be taken by the engineers while laying a sewer lines. For that purpose only, these are all the things will be essential while constructing a sewer appurtenances. Okay, this is the major concept of sewer appurtenances. Okay, next I am going to take what are all the materials used to sewer appurtenances. So while preparing these sewer appurtenances, number of or different types of materials will be used. Materials will be used. What are all the materials used? Are simply materials of sewers. Simply we can call it as materials of sewer. Sewer or sewers. The next bit is materials of sewers. What do you mean by materials of sewers? Materials, size and shape of materials, size and shape of materials, laying of sewers, testing of sewers. Okay, laying of sewers, testing of sewers. While laying and testing of sewers, there will be one more bit, ventilation of sewers. So, every residential houses, for example, you take your house itself, we need the ventilation. Not only kitchen, not only bathrooms, not only houses, not only hall portion, not only bed portions, bedrooms. It is the essential requirement. We need a fresh air for our maintaining of our health, and easily we can get the oxygen. Who is going to provide the oxygen to us? It is naturally available. Are you clear? In case sometimes we are not able to get the oxygen to our breathing, survival is very difficult. Even in the same way, even this also. Laying of sewers, testing of sewers, ventilation. Without giving the ventilation, how the wastewater or water will be passing? The wastewater consisting of different characteristics, because we are not collecting the wastewater from single residence or single industry. We are collected the wastewater from different industries, different residential areas or different community halls, or different purposely they are whatever the water they are using, according to their consumption, they are generating the wastewater. All wastewater is not consisting or not containing same character. So, even in the previous class I mentioned very clearly. For example, you take tannery industry, textile industry, food processing industry. All are not generating same characteristics of wastewater. Even though I am the person stick on to use of all the times, I am the stick on to use of non-vegetarian. Another one, my friend, stick on to use of fully vegetarian. Is it not? Whatever the raw materials we are getting to our consumption purpose, when we are going to cook such a type of materials, I should wash it properly. After consumption also, after preparation also, I want to wash the utensils. Based on their habitats, we are generating different characteristics of wastewater. For example, you take food processing industry, whatever the end products they are manufactured, according to the end product they are manufactured, they are generating the wastewater. They are not using much more chemicals. And at the same time, you take example, tannery industry or textile industry. In tannery industry, the main intention of end products, leather. To get the leather, whatever the raw materials, animal skin. Initially, the animal skin having much more hairs. To remove such hairs, they have to use acid-oriented materials or chemicals they have to use. In each and every unit, they are used to chemically oriented or acidic in nature of materials they are going to use. Even textile industry, initially whatever the product they are generating, simply we call it as cloth, that is in white color. According to the customer's demand, is made into or changed into color. And according to the customer's demand, they are going to put the print. For change the colors, for dyeing the, to change the designs, patterns, they are going to use dyes simply. For dyes, there are one more time they are using chemicals. For each and every stages, they are going to use acid-oriented chemicals. So finally, they can prepare the very good cloth. After manufacturing or preparing the end product, they are washing well. Once again, according to the manufacturing process, whatever the chemicals they are using, according to the characteristics, they are generating different characteristics of or acid-oriented characteristics of wastewater. When compared with food processing industry wastewater and tannery or textile industry wastewater, they are not same. For each and every industry, wastewater will be based on their manufacturing process, characteristics wise, everything will be changed. Not only industry, already I am taking very good example, I am the person stick on to use of non-vegetarian. So according to that, we are generating the wastewater. The characteristics is entirely different from what who are all using vegetarian food. Stick on to use of vegetarian foods. So all types of wastewater will be carried by single conduit. Are you catch my point or not? Are you clear? So all types of wastewater will be mixed each other and flowing in a single conduit or single sewerage system. There is, while collecting the wastewater from different origin or sources, there will be branches we are going to provide. According to the branches, we are collecting and directly send or passed into the main sewer. There will be a chances of reaction takes place. At the time of chemical reaction, there will be a chances of production of methane gas and other gases. Where exactly such a type of gases will be escaped? There is no chance without providing this ventilation. For smooth flowing, we have to remove such a type of gases escaped from that system. One thing. Another one thing is, so previously what we discussed, catch basins like that, so and so. That is also provided because we have to collect the solid particles and remaining rest of the supernatant that can be passed away or flowing smoothly in a conduit or pipe. So whatever the gases coming out of that system, there will be a hood. Simply I mentioned very clearly one pipe, that is hood, H-O-O-D, hood. That pipes will be provided to escape the gases. Same way, the ventilation is compulsorily needed while moving or flowing a wastewater. So as a human being, we need oxygen to breathe for survival. But in this system, the ventilation is much more essential to flow the wastewater or smooth flowing wastewater. The ventilation is also required, and also and at the same time from that ventilation, whatever the reactions will take place while moving the wastewater, whatever the gases, unwanted things or unwanted gases. Best example is methane gas coming out of that reaction. That gas also, such type of gases will be escaped from that conduit. That's why the ventilation is essentially needed. Are you clear or not? Okay. So, what are all the different types of materials we are going to use for sewers? What are all the different types of materials? Asbestos and cement sewers, cast iron sewers, brick sewers, cement concrete sewers, plastic sewers, steel sewers, stoneware sewers, and as well as wood sewers. According to the type of wastewater we are going to collect or send it to the treatment process, these are all the different types of materials will be used for carrying the system. Cast iron, if for example, whatever the industrial wastewater comes out of the system, already I mentioned very clearly, such a type of wastewater will be carry the wastewater to the treatment unit. Suppose we are going to use cast iron, what happens? There will be a reaction will be takes place. There will be chances of erode or corrosion will be takes place. Once it takes the corrosion or erode the pipes, automatically there will be damages occurs. Once the damages occurs, there will be infiltration will be takes place. What happens? Such infiltration reaches the groundwater. Once again, the water, groundwater, clear water will be spoiled. Once we spoil the groundwater, there is no chances of treating the groundwater. So, same groundwater will be extract for our consumption. We are consuming such type of water, again we are also failing life. There is a chances of spoiling the entire human life. So, that's why according to the characteristics of wastewater we are going to collect, according to the system and conditions, these are all the different materials will be used. Are you clear or not? Majorly based on the characteristics. Already I mentioned very clearly. So, I am the person stick on to use of vegetarian food. If you are serving the vegetarian food, I am satisfactorily. I am happy the person. I am consuming vegetarian, but unfortunately I are supply the non-vegetarian. I am not satisfied with that food. This is the concept we have to use. Even this concept is same, but where exactly we are going to incorporate such a type of concept, that is the main thing. Okay guys, I will going to stop at this level. So until, take care. Next I will going to continue the same thing. Okay.